All right, before I get out of here and go and get myself a little workout in. Okay, now the obvious joke here with LeBron James talking about the NFL being, oh, it's old white men, blah, 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 slavery, they treat their players like slavery. Now, the obvious thing here is the jokes that could be said, but I'm going to take away from the jokes because I know there's been a lot of jokes been said, looking at comment sections of stories and stuff like that. Here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the fact that if they wanted to, I think the league is like over 70% black. If they wanted to, you can all put your money together and buy out parts of teams, buy out whole teams. And you can just keep doing this until it's completely 100% black owned. If that's what you want to do, you really could do that. So in a slavery situation, you could never do something like that. In a slavery situation, there's white people and a couple of Hispanics and 0 Asians playing in the NFL. Never seen a slave situation where, if we're gonna, because we're taking a racial a little tone with this. I've never seen any white slaves whenever black people are talking about slavery. Anyway, forget that. I'm going to put that off to the side. Here's what I'm going to say. There is slavery going on today. And there's slavery, and LeBron James is a slave. And a lot of people that talk about different situations like this are slaves. We already know that the left is hyperbolic. Of course, they're hyperbolic on a lot of these things. Ocasio-Cortez likened the migrant caravan, the people that were coming up for asylum as Jews fleeing the Holocaust. Of course, Cory Booker's talking about that he has a Spartacus moment going on, and now you got LeBron James with this crap. You got a lot of those situations that they'll try to push something out there to say that this situation is like that, but just to try to see if they can pull at the heartstrings of people. Now, the thing is that is by far not the case, of course. My thing about LeBron is that he is a slave, and people like him, that think like him, or that take on the mantle of racism, sexism, blah, 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 gays and things like that. You guys are slaves, and the reason you are slaves, you are working for free to push an ideal that a lot of times you don't necessarily agree with, and that you will never get anything out of. Postmodern neo-Marxist ideologies and stuff like that. They're pushed. They are pushed by people like you. They are pushed by people like you. You will get nothing out of it. All the people with boots on the ground, so to speak, that are going to the Women's March and stuff like that, that are actually there pushing that agenda, pushing that neo-Marxist agenda, postmodernism agenda. You guys are getting, you guys will ultimately get nothing out of it, and you are slaves to that ideology. You guys are slaves to it. So while we want to sit back and talk about what slave, that's a slave mentality to have, where a slave master, this political ideology, can actually make you feel like a victim and make you push forth their agenda for no pay, for not moving forward. And I guess we could talk about Bubba from the Bubbas from the local, which was, you had slaves, the slave masters, plantation owners. Then you had the guys that would enforce the rules, that would do all the whipping and all this other stuff. Those are people like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Ocasio-Cortez, and all these people that or Linda Sorsor that actually make money doing this off the backs of a bunch of people that are poor, that aren't making any money doing it. That's their Bubbas. Linda Sorsor and Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and all of them. So if we want to sit back and talk about there being slaves in the NFL, talking about slavery, there is a lot of slavery going on. There's a slavery going on where people are for free doing the work of these postmodernists. They're putting their jobs on the line. They're putting their bodies on the line. They're putting everything on the line for this political ideology. Why the people that are actually pushing ideology, why people that are actually pushing ideology sit back and just let their minions go out there and do all the work for them. So yeah, there is some slavery going on, but it's not the kind of slavery you think, Mr. James. So that's my thoughts on that. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. All right.